High school seniors are required to take the STAAR test in person this year. It is a change from last year when the state got a waiver to skip it because of the pandemic. Some of you wrote the Verified team wanting to know if Texas had a choice this time around. Here's investigative reporter Cheryl Mercedes.
Millions of kids in Texas are still learning online, but this year the state is expecting them to show up at a school to take the State of Texas Assessments of Academic Readiness tests. Education leaders said elementary and middle school students won't be penalized or held back a grade for skipping, but high school seniors must pass or they may not graduate. Leanne wrote the Verified team. It is my understanding that Texas had a choice and decided not to opt out of STAAR testing this year. Is that true? We have three sources for this: the U.S. Department of Education, the Texas Education Agency, and Texas Education Commissioner Mike Morath. The Federal Education Agency sent out this letter in February stating standardized testing would go on, but states could apply for a number of waivers. That's why elementary and middle school students could opt out. However, Texas Education Commissioner Mike Morath said during a meeting with the State Board of Education earlier this year, dropping the STAAR requirement for high school seniors was not an option.
It is what it is.
So we can verify that Texas could not entirely skip the STAAR, even if they wanted to. Some states appealed for waivers to completely do away with standardized testing. The U.S. Department of Education denied 5 of them, stating they didn't demonstrate a need. Only schools in the U.S. Capitol were allowed to completely do away with standardized testing, and that's because 88% of its students are still participating in virtual learning. With your Verify, I'm Cheryl Mercedes.